This is the creepiest account on all of TikTok. So basically this account posts a lot of weird stuff, and in their newest videos they claim to have brought a banana to life. And this banana that's been brought to life even throws up. Now I don't know about you, but that does not look like throw up to me. Now since seeing this alive banana, a lot of people think that this is real. Now I'm like 80% sure that this banana is not actually alive. Like, here's something else that the banana account has posted, and they have a bunch of other really weird stuff like this on their account. Because of that, I'm gonna say they have some kind of string or something attached to this banana to make it move. But what do you guys think?
New things and shit. This video shows a group of over 40 Golden Corral customers in a massive brawl over a steak shortage at a Pennsylvania location. Police are still investigating to see who threw the first punch. A chicken recently broke into the United States Pentagon before being caught and taken into custody. The Pentagon refuses to release any info on how the hen got in and any secrets it may have discovered. A woman named Darylyn Roberts was recently arrested after pretending to be a sign language interpreter on live TV. I don't know how, but she was on live TV multiple times before someone realized that she was just doing random hand motions. A British dog named Millie got stuck in a mud flat near the ocean with the tide quickly rising. Fortunately, authorities rushed to help using a drone with a sausage tied to it to lead the small dog to safety. Elon Musk himself recently reached out to a teenager who runs a Twitter account that tracks and publishes the location of Musk's private plane. Elon offered the kid $5K to shut it down until the kid replied, "How about 50?"
Only 5% of humans can hear this sound at full volume.
Here are some very creepy true stories that happened at Walmart. The first one is called The Lady in the Bee Costume. This is about an 18-year-old girl who worked the night shift at Walmart. And for some reason, precisely at 1:30 in the morning, like on the dot, she would get what she called the Bumblebee as a visitor. The Bumblebee was an old woman wearing a bee Halloween costume. She had a stinger, wings, and everything. And she was never outrageous with her behavior. She would never purchase anything. She was just a bee, and this employee never asked why, but always 1:30 in the morning. Next, we have a story about a magic 8-ball. This is about a little kid that was walking through Walmart with his mom when he snuck a magic 8-ball into the cart because he always wanted one. Well, the mother didn't notice until they got to the cash register, and when she saw it, she got a little bit freaked out. She told her son that this toy was extremely evil, and he should not even be near it, let alone take it home. Well, the kid started crying because he wanted it so bad, and then he said, "But I want to talk to the tall, dark man in the house." So yeah, that would freak me out. By the way, a lot of people use magic 8-balls to like talk to ghosts. Like they'll ask the ghost a question, they'll shake up the magic 8-ball to get their answer. Then we have a story called The Whistle Man. The night before Christmas Eve, Walmart was closing a bit earlier in the night due to the holidays. There was a worker who was in charge of locking up, and he decided to do one last walk around the store to make sure that everyone had left. It seemed totally empty until he approached the toy section. He began hearing whistling, and at first he thought that maybe it was one of the toys that had gone off because it sensed him passing. But as he walked closer, he noticed this man standing at the very end of the aisle, and he was looking down at the ground as he walked, and the strangest thing is that he was whistling. He politely told the man that it was closing time and it was time for him to leave, but the man ignored him and kept whistling and walking down the aisles. The employee felt unsettled because he couldn't see the man's face, so after about 5 minutes of trying to get the man to leave, he had to go and get back up because the situation was just so sketchy. Well, when he brought 2 employees back with him to that exact aisle where he saw the man was gone, and they couldn't even find evidence of him on the security tape. So yeah, that's creepy. If you want me to do a part 2 of creepy Walmart stories, definitely comment down below.
that you find some peace. It's in the small mistakes that you find your way to live. It's in the morning breeze that you find some peace. It's in the small mistakes that you find your way. It's in the morning.
It all started 3 weeks ago. My mom disappeared. She was at home in the morning, nothing different. She hugged me, saying goodbye, wished me luck with school, and gave me a packed lunch. And when I got home that evening, she wasn't there. She didn't come back. So we called the police and all of the search was set up. The whole town came together and held a giant search party, lasting through the night, but there was no sign of her at all. She had just completely vanished. The weeks since were hell for both me and my dad. Rumors started spreading through town, and particularly around the school, that my mom had been murdered. Dad took things a lot worse than I did. He was a carpenter, so it wasn't unusual behavior for him to disappear into the garage for a long time to work on a chair or table or something. Especially, it was what he always did when he was stressed. I figured that's just how he was dealing with the grief. We barely spoke over the next couple weeks. He was locked in there from sunrise to midnight. And we might bump into each other at one point, but he'd just say goodnight and went to bed. Sure, it was a bit weird, but I understood that he was going through a lot. But the longer he spent in there, the less I was sure he was doing woodwork. There were large bottles of bleach popping up in our bins, and Dad barely took any break. One night, I had waited for him to go to sleep, and I crept down to try to open the door, but it was locked tight, and Dad always had the key. But today, when I came home from school, he was in the kitchen, freshly shaved, showered, had a rested face. He was totally different from what he'd been for the last couple of weeks. He was cooking. My dad used to love grilling, and his steaks were always amazingly delicious. So it was a nice change, since I fed myself only pot noodles and soup for a few weeks. He set down two of the biggest, bloodiest steaks I had ever seen in my life.